Hey guys, Tom here. We're going to do another lesson today. We're going to talk all about double stops. I just want to share everything that off the top of my head, about how to beef up your lines, your lead playing when you're playing single note solos on guitar. So I'm talking about stuff like just basic, just playing things and harmonize like thirds and sixths, things like that. Maybe even like we'll get into some other ideas. So here's the first one. I heard this, can't remember, but I heard this recently and picked it out by ear. So that's just a basic blues idea. A couple things are happening here. I'm going to show you guys, break it down piece by piece here. So I'm basically using a chord first off. I'm going to show you guys the tab. I'm just going to say the numbers across starting on the D string. So it's the 12th fret of D, 11th, 9th, 12th. It's the first chord. I just hit that chord like this. And I play the 11th fret of G and the 10th fret of E. And then I bar this with my index finger on the 9th fret. Get the G, 9, and the high E string, 9th fret. So here it is. Play the low E to start off. Play it again. So here I'm going to use the 9th fret starting here, down to the 7th fret, 8th fret on the B and 8th fret on the D, 9th fret on the B, 9th fret on the D. You can see right there I'm on the 5th fret of B and the 6th fret of D. Let me play it again, you can hear it by ear. Okay, so that's the first idea. That's basically just harmonizing this little blues lick like that, but harmonizing it in sixth intervals that work with the E7 harmony, and that mostly is the notes like E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E. It's that E7 scale. People call it Mixolydian mode. So that's basically what's going on there. So that's really good. You know, the 6 intervals, you can't go wrong with them. Some other ideas for harmonizing licks is like to just do things in fourths, and you can mix and match. So like let's say we're in the key of A now. Okay, so A major. Just think of our A major, open A, open 2, 2, 2. Like that. We could go. We could harmonize that scale. Let me play it again. We can play that scale in fourth intervals, and I'm combining a couple major third intervals in there too. So here's what that was. I'm just gonna play, I'm hybrid picking this. You guys can probably see I got my pick here and my middle and my ring finger ready to go. So middle and ring are gonna play the 2nd fret of D and G twice. Play it like that. So you start off with the open A, and then hold that bar down on the 2nd fret. Put your ring and your pinky down here on the 4th fret of the same 2 strings, D and G. So it sounds like this. Here it is again. Open A, 2nd fret, hybrid picked, 4th fret, hybrid picked with the middle and the ring. Now we're going to go up to the 6th and 7th fret on the same string set. So if you're doing the tablature, it'd be 7, 6. So. Okay. 2, 2, 4, 7, and 6. Now we're going to change strings, go over to the next set. We're going to go to the 4th fret of G and the 5th fret of B. So 4, 5 if you're doing the tab. Now we're going to go up just 2 frets. Take that thing, go up 2 frets higher to the 6th and the 7th. Here it is so far. Oops, let me try it again. Okay, so you could end there, but I might rather end it on the root, which is going to be A. We're in the key of A, remember? So we're going to end it right here. Just bar the 5th fret on the E and the B. So the tab's just 5-5. Okay, so that's 4ths. We've done 6th and 4ths. I'm trying to present it in the order of, I guess, my personal preference for harmonizing. I really like 6th intervals. Really enjoy 4ths. 3rds are right up there too. 3rds, we're just going to do a basic thing here. Let's stay in the key of A. How about that? And we just do, think of any melody that you like. Mi, fa, sol. Right? And just try to harmonize that melody in 3rd intervals that come from the scale. So here it's 2-2. If you're doing the tab, G and B string 2-2. We're going to stay on these 2 strings. We're going to go 4-3 and 6-5. I think what a lot of teachers miss is they give you the mechanics, but you want to immediately make it musical. So don't just sit there and just go. Well, you can just sit there and do that for a while, but do it really slow. But try to make it musical. Add in articulations right away. I didn't even pick that final 6 and 5 fret position, C sharp and E here. I didn't even pick it. I just slid up to it. Trying to pick as little as I can and slide and and once you get up there you can hammer on. So what am I doing here now? I'm getting a little ahead of ourselves. Let's break that down. Still in the key of A. There's the 4th interval we learned, 5-5. Let's just move that up to 7-5. So I've got it in a 3rd now. So note F sharp and A, 7-5. We're going to just do this to get that little effect of the hammer on. Just hammer on with your pinky to the 7th fret of E. So for a moment there, it's like you're doing 7-7, and you're going to pull it off on the high E back to 5. So it's like, that's what's cool. You can go up 2 frets higher. 9-7 and do it. Hammering on from 7 to 9 on the high E with the pinky. And then if you want to complete the scale or continue with the scale, there's a lot more left in the scale. You could do 10-9. You could do 10-9 and hammer on the high E to the 10th fret, C sharp to D. Yeah, so it almost sounds like classical guitar for a little bit. So when you're practicing them, try stuff out and take a melody, maybe take a tune, like a jazz tune that and usually you would just play single notes for the melody. You would just go like All of Me, the tune All of Me. It goes like. Let's take just that excerpt and try to harmonize this with double stops like 3rds and 6th and 4ths. So first thing, let's do it in 6th, okay? So the notes here in the tab going across are like 8, 8, 9 on the high E, coming back over to the G string here, 8, 8, 9. Let's harmonize it in 6th. So what I did here, I went 8 of high E, skipped over the B string, go to the 9th fret of G. So you have 8, skip over B, 9th fret of G. And then for the next note, we need to harmonize. It's the 8th fret of B here. We're going to do this in a 6th interval. We're going to harmonize that with the 9th fret of D right there. We're going to skip over the G string. We're going to go 8 on the B string, skip over G, 9th fret of D. So here's how it starts off. Could have stayed in position and done it. Gives it a different character because of where the notes are on the fretboard. That's so important too. A lot of people forget. Like a lot of guitar players see the fact that you can play a C here, or here, or here, or there, as they see that as like a liability, which it can be. It's a lot to learn, but there's also differences in timbre, differences in tone color from that you should pay attention to as well. So back to the melody, all of me, it feels different to play it if I go here. There, it's a little bit lighter than it is. A little bit more hollow, deeper, thicker sounding to me if I do it up there. So, all right, let's get back to the sixth. So we got all of me. This one's great for left hand workout. It's going to get all 4 fingers engaged. We're going to do the 8th fret of E, 9th fret of G with our index and middle. And then we're going to do, put your pinky down and your ring finger down on the 10th fret. Pinky's on the 10th fret here. Ring fingers on the 10th. Very important. Do not pick up your index or your middle finger, because we're going to come back to that. We're literally going to come right back to it. You know, so just make sure you don't waste the energy of picking them up, putting them back on. You don't need to do that. Just keep it down. And if you keep them down, it allows you to also hammer on, pull off as well. Got it. And then we could keep going with that, but why don't you do that for homework? You can kind of work on trying to harmonize the next part here. Just watch what I'm doing. It's very important to use your ear to figure things out. That's so important. It's very tempting to want to just have it and read it and immediately look at it on a piece of paper or on a computer and read it, but figuring it out by ear will pay off in the long run. Okay, so one more thing before we go on double stops, and that is using 5th intervals. I haven't talked about them yet. I haven't talked about a couple intervals, like because they're just not quite as useful immediately, because they're not as pleasing to the ear potentially. I'm talking about things like seconds and 7th intervals. So for example, seconds are more like things like this, like they don't quite have the harmoniousness of thirds, like, right? So that's seconds. 7th intervals will be like this in the key of C. They're kind of cool, but they just don't always work immediately. They're great when you combine them with other more consonant intervals, like thirds, for example, like they hold a lot of tension in them, and that can be beautiful in the right context. Just not all the time, right? It's a great guitar player named Jimmy Weibel who did a lot of cool intervals. Weibel, W-Y-B-L-E, and he did a lot of things. I cannot play like him. I'd like you to check him out for more of these kind of unusual dissonant harmonizations and 7ths and the seconds. And Thelonious Monk on piano, he would do things that were kind of very intervallic. You know, he would just, I don't want to get into him too much right now, but check out Thelonious Monk. So the last thing I want to talk about is 5ths, and here's an example of 5ths that sounds great, I think. I'm going to play just power chords, right? Everybody knows power chords. Try to move them around. So for example, if you want to harmonize something in 5ths, let's say you're just playing back to the key of A again, and you want to get something going, you could kind of go here on the 4th fret and the 6th fret. So 4th fret of D, 6th of G. And go down 2 frets lower to 2 and 4, same string. Okay, and then now we're going to move down here to the A string and D string, 4 and 6 again. Do the same move. Could be like an ending to something. Right, for example, or maybe I'm really thinking of there's a great guitar player named Guthrie Trapp, just phenomenal guitar player, and he has a song called Pick Peace, which I haven't really learned it other than just I heard it by ear, and I think it's kind of has this, like that's basically part of the hook of it. And that's exactly where I took this from. So let's give him some credit for that, the harmonization. Yeah, so all these ideas, you got to listen to great players. There's so many people that do this really well. The harmonizations, we mentioned Guthrie Trapp, of course, more in the, he's just a great person to listen to for everything. But some of the jazz players, of course, gosh, I'm trying to think of his name escapes me right now. The great Telecaster, was it Scotty Anderson? I think he does thumb pick style Telecaster player, and he does, Scotty Anderson, and he does the like rapid fire double stops. You should check him out. And then of course in jazz, it's great to hear, even getting into like Wes Montgomery, he would do some things like that sometimes, but Jimmy Weibel, a little more dissonant, Lenny Breau, some of those great players who would use not just double stops, but larger chords to beef out their melodies. Ed Bickert, can't forget Ed Bickert, just his chord soloing more than anything. So hopefully that gives you some ideas to think about why you should use double stops in your playing. And I don't have any recommendations at the moment for books, but I would say whatever you're working on right now, simple melodies, do, re, mi, try to harmonize that. And you'll be impressed by how immediately full and pleasing they can sound. So, all right, thanks for checking it out. If you want, please subscribe. I'm not really sitting here trying to advertise anything. Just love to play guitar and share what I know. Cool. See you guys.